it is. All right. So the trade I took was right here off of this 30-second. Oh, this entire range. Yeah, so I got an entry on the 30-second targeting a 1, 2. Well, no, my stop was less than. Or my stop was bigger, I mean. Yeah, my stop was somewhere there. It was a 3 point something, or like 4 basically, but not this much. I don't know why it's so much. But yeah. So I did was this 30-second inversion here, these two gaps here. Well, I mainly because I saw this first 30-second inversion, and also this buy side candle, but I ended up entering off of like this third candle, I think it was. But yeah. So my entry was at 30-second inversion, stop at the low, targeting, well, to pass the whole thing. Well, no. Well, at first, I just targeted, what do you call, was gonna target this high here, but I was like, might as well just target the full loss because I ended up losing 2 trades Asia session. I tried catching the whole London session short, and then I'll add that in the video right now. But I tried catching that, and then I was down, I think 1,000 or 1,100, somewhere in there. So I had 900 in drawdown. So I was in a risk in 2 trades. Well, I was already trying to catch shorts this whole day here, but didn't wasn't able to catch anything. Nothing looked good. Oh yeah, and I did take this 30-second too during the section as well. I'll just start with this one. Alright. Took this 30-second to here. We ended up sweeping this low. We sweeped into the low, and we sweep these lows here. The idea for it was just to retrace into the 15-minute gap right here, and then targeting this wick up here. I ended up getting solid break even right here. My stop was I risked like 30, 31, 30 points because I wasn't gonna risk that many points. I was like, I'm just risk a good 30 points. Ended up going break even instantly. As soon as I entered, it already went like I was up like 600 already. It was up my 1-to-1, so I already went break even instantly. And I was targeting up here because I was still down 1,000. So my idea was to target this wick, and the reason for this wick again because it's just for me seeing wicks like this. Normally they are a good target, obviously depending on the narrative of the day. But normally when we have wicks like that, that's what I use as targets. And obviously it's like the open session wick, which would be like literally the first 1 minute candle of the session. Yeah, so I took 30-second inversion of this here, and then I got stopped at break even. But I mean, this was 60 points already that technically caught. I mean, 50 points is $1,000, but to be honest, it happened so fast. Like I wasn't even really paying attention. I took it on my phone and then hopped on my computer. That's why I didn't have the recording. But yeah, that one saw break even, and then we kept going lower, lower, lower. So my first idea was to rebalance this 15-minute here and then take some sort of short or even off with this 5-minute here. But again, there was for me there's really nothing. So I was just waiting, and then I was like, okay, we're obviously bearish overall. We're going to targeting these higher time frame lows, 4-hour lows, and obviously it just straight dumped. I was thinking of entering on the 15-second. There's an inversion there, but I was like, if I have to go to the 15-second to take an inversion, yeah, it's cooked. Like anything already lower than a 1 minute is already cooked. But I mean, I take 30 seconds because at times setups are good on the 30-second. But it all depends on narrative. I just rather not enter 15 seconds because 15 seconds it's like they work. I have taken 15-second entries, but I rather not. So I didn't have anything, and then at this point I was like, okay, if anything, it might be a good like long opportunity to target this internal 15-minute and then 4-hour, 1 hour as well into the internal range up here. But I'll say I don't need to catch the whole thing. I just needed to catch a small amount. So my idea was we end up rebalancing this internal range here. It's not a gap, but how I use like ranges like that. It's like on lower time frames we don't have anything. Or where's it even at? I keep getting confused. Okay, look at on higher time frames we didn't really have anything, but we had this wick here and this low here. I was like, okay, we have relatively equal lows. Ended up sweeping that low and then rebalancing on lower time frame. I think there was a 1 minute gap, but I mean that's not really gonna be like, oh yeah, we're rebalancing off a high key point or anything, but I mean, this is just how I trade, like with rebalancing of ranges in the sense of like this isn't really a range because again, I mean, it is a range in the sense of like it's 100 points or like almost 200. But rebalance or pull back into this range here. There's not a gap, but that was my idea. And then the idea was obviously we ended up sweeping these relative equal lows, sweeping to the range. Ideally, if this would have been swept here, okay, that probably would have been more mechanical, like better idea. But I was like, this is a good long here, target this high, and then yeah. So 30-second inversion right here. 30-second inversion, entry off of there, targeting almost the whole thing, and then ended up being like 2,400 or something like that. So I was missing already 250. So I could have passed this whole thing in one trade, but I ended up not miscalculating it, but I just put my TP there. And then yeah, so that one is a hitting full TP again, 30-second inversion, targeting 4R, rebouncing into the internal range, not a gap, but just a range of that range. And then John liquidity was internal 15-minute, internal 30-minute, and the higher time frame gap that we just have an imbalance there. So that was the idea for long. And the trade I took right now to pass this one, my idea was first to find some sort of long to target this new day opening gap. I sent it like, I wasn't planning on shooting Asia, but I looked at my phone and I was at Costco, and then I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay, this might actually like be good because we have a gap now, so it's obviously gonna be pretty easy to target. And obviously everything plays out. We end up sweeping this high. This low. We have an internal. Oh, do we have one? Oh no, we didn't have one. What was it? I forgot what I was like. Yeah, no, no. But they're both sweeping that. ES sweeps these almost relative equal lows. Both sweep the lows, and obviously yeah, this extreme buy side freaking candle. So the only trade I would have taken would have been this 5-minute here, but it was cooked. I was like, yeah, this is cooked. Let me wait for some sort of like better retracement or something like that. And it's cooked in the sense of like it's just like there's not. I don't know. I just don't like structure. I like when my setups have structure. Like in the sense of okay, we have actual low, we have some sort of flip, this and that, yada yada, V shape, yada yada, like that type of structure. But I need to get more comfortable with taking trades that are just like that. But it is what it is. So yeah, took this 2-minute inversion right here. My first idea was to rebalance this into this 15-minute, and then you probably get it long off of there, or this 5-minute right here, which that's what I was waiting for. And first here, I was thinking if anything, a short towards the 15-minute, but I'm like, it's cooked because the idea was this 3-minute inversion. Okay, we ended up sweeping this high, rebalancing over the 15-minute. I think it's a 30-minute and 1 hour right here as well. Yeah, so the idea was rejecting because it was rejecting off of that. So I was like, okay, we probably end up shorting or getting a short. And what do you call? I was like, yeah, no, because again, my stop would have been cooked. I would have to have my stop here because that's technically how it would work. But it's just too much of a stop, and I was like, yeah, no, this is just like this is such a bad like trade. Like, there's not much context to it. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna take a trade, I'm gonna wait either to rebalance this here or we get some sort of long here, some sort of like ideal setup. And we ended up rebalancing this and we get the similar inversion. So I was like, okay, either this is gonna long and this would actually be a good risk. Like I could take the inversion here and then risk the low, and that's it. Whether it's 30 points, 35 points, I'll risk that. And then from here to here, it's technically 38. But I ended up risking 20. Like that's where I ended up moving my stop. In the beginning, yeah, I had at 30, but I put it at 20. So when I adjusted it. So yeah, so I just targeted 20 points. I was gonna target like 15 points, which literally would have been like right here. But I was like, yeah, let me get 20 points to secure, like in case of anything. Or right here, yeah, but 20 points like right there. But this would have been to pass the whole like this lucid account too. I need 1100 to pass it. But I didn't take it on lucid one because I know I tried to stay away from Asia session. I try to only stick to the New York session because that's the one that I'm back testing. Obviously, I'd rather not trade multiple sessions, but New York session has been not like it has been like very volatile, but it's just not that much setups, at least for me. And I haven't really been trading because I can't I can't find a setup because everything's moving too fast. 500 points in the first 3 minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is cooked. It's too volatile. Then the way I enter, I don't like having big stops. Like if like normally last week we had like 500-point ranges, 800 like that. My stop would be 80, 100 points. Yeah, I rather not even trade. Like even if I just slice down like to 1 micro, I rather not even trade because I'm having my stop like so big. Like because trading one mini or even 5 micros, like you do the math, you calculate it. Because that's how I trade. I like doing the calculations. And I'm like, yeah, there's no point risking that much, or at least that much in points. When if I'm really gonna have that as a stop, I might as well short it or long it, vice versa, like on the stop. But obviously that's just theoretical. So yeah, but yeah, I haven't been trading, so it's been taking pretty long to pass these accounts. But I've been winning for the most part. Like if anything, I've only lost on this account like 3 times, and out of like, uh, yeah, I think I've only lost 2 times, and I've won like a total of 4 on this account, 4 3. Well, on this CB, this lucid one, no, I don't even think I've lost on this one. No, actually, yeah, I took one. Yeah, I've I've won like 2 times or 2 or 3, and then I've only lost one, and it was a pretty small loss. So I mean, it overruns everything. I think, and I think I was down like 700 somewhere in there. It is. But but yeah, so I took this 2 minute inversion. Idea would have been to retrace into this 5 minute, 15 minute, but excuse me. Oh yeah, 5 and 15 minute, but this 2 minute was a good setup for me. So yeah, take it 1 to 1, and yeah, and here's execution on it. So that's where I got out, and then I entered, yeah, literally on this candle. I got out, yeah, like crazy. Okay. So now I just need this lucid one. So we'll see. This lucid one could have got passed, but it is. So we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow is I think F1. No, I forgot what it was. Yeah, FOMC meeting, which I mean doesn't do anything. I mean it does, but not really, depending who's speaking. And I don't think the Fed speaker is gonna be speaking, but yeah. And it's at 11, so either tomorrow's gonna be completely cooked or it'll be good in the morning. But yeah, we'll see for that. I have this account to go, and then we'll go from there.